Hello everybody, it is Agony333, and we're here for another fucking movie review. This time it is for a movie called Murder Set Pieces. So is this movie a fucking awesome one that goes on the shelf with the other extreme horror films in the genre, or is this a piece of fucking garbage? Let's find out. So this movie was made in 2004. It is a horror film, and it has a runtime of 1 hour and 45 motherfucking minutes. And quick answer, no offense if anybody likes this movie, but yeah, it is fucking garbage. I'm just gonna get that out of the fucking way right now. So, a little bit of backstory. This is a movie I have known about for quite a number of years. I had checked out the trailer, I had read things about it, and really I kind of put this movie off because I always had the feeling from the trailer. I just had a feeling that this movie was not going to deliver whatso-fucking-ever, and I was correct. It did not deliver whatso-fucking-ever. So, let's try to get into some things before I get into the spoiler section and whatnot. Let me see here. Yeah, so pretty much, basically, from the get-go of this film, the thing that you notice is that there is apparently something off with the main character, which is this photographer, the killer of Murder Set Pieces. Because, yeah, okay, I apologize. I need to get to the synopsis, whatever you want to call it. So, the basic premise of this film is that in Las Vegas, there is this guy who's like a photographer. He takes pictures of women. He's a model, whatever. Takes pictures of models and shit like that. And basically, he's a psychotic fucking killer. That's as deep as it gets. And it's not even deep. It doesn't get any deeper, and it doesn't explore any of that shit. It fucking fails, okay? But yeah, so let me see if there's things because I might save it till spoiler time. Oh, the movie's effects are terrible. They're fucking terrible. Let's get into other things. This is one thing I was gonna say. Is when it comes to killers and it comes to just this kind of genre of slasher, killing, whatever, this movie really reminded me of, in a way, of American Psycho. And when I say that, I mean that this reminds me of a hack piece of shit version of American Psycho. Because to me, in American Psycho, Patrick Bateman, that character, the psycho in American Psycho, he was intriguing. To me, he was, anyways. You know, I mean, when you watch it, just the quirks, the things he said, the character was intriguing. You kind of wanted to learn more about that character, and it succeeded. That to me, that movie succeeded in what it was doing. It was a decent horror film. It was a good horror film. This not only is not an extreme film like it claims to be, it's not even a good fucking horror film. That's why I'm saying it's fucking terrible. It doesn't even succeed in being an average fucking horror film. It's just bottom of the barrel, folks. I'm sorry to say that, and like I said, if there's any fans of this movie watching, I apologize. If you liked it, that's good for you. I'm glad you liked it, but for me, I could not find redeeming qualities about this film. The character, I guess he's, a German character pretty much. There's some bit about him having to do with, the Nazis and all kinds of other crap in his backstory. Backstory, yeah, but there's nothing to this character. There's nothing intriguing about this guy. It's all fucking crap. It just, yeah, I'm gonna tear into this fucking movie. I'll say that much. It's just, none of it works to me. None of it. The dialogue doesn't work. None of it's believable. The effects are terrible. There's no fucking story here. And that's a thing I don't know if I've really touched much on, but a big thing I've liked about these disturbing films, the reason I got into these disturbing films, I'd probably say a big part was Gaspar Noé's films and other ones, because some of the best disturbing films are ones with great stories or some kind of hook. There's something there, and if it's not delivering in a gore department or something, delivering on an emotional level or something. There's always something about these films that make them good. This has none of that. It doesn't have characters you give a damn about. It doesn't have an intriguing killer. It doesn't have good effects for people who like gore. It doesn't do anything new. movies, like I said, like American Psycho and others, they succeed where this doesn't. I mean, and this character, like he just it's laughable. To me, it was laughable. Like there's moments where he does like yells that reminded me of like knockoff like Arnie yells from like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It reminded me kind of Austrian Death Machine or whatever that band. It was so ridiculous. There was these yells he would do. It sounded stupid. His character was crap. I don't know if it was the acting or what exactly. Because I mean, you got that something was off about him, but not just from a film perspective, like where you could see something's off with this guy and something's wrong, because you could tell that too. You could tell something's off with this guy. Hopefully, these characters should be seeing that something's off with him, but you could even see it as a viewer, like, okay, something's off about this fucking film. Because yeah, it's I don't really know what else I can really get into because I mentioned American Psycho and stuff. But okay, here's another thing. I would honestly say that I feel like out of all of the movies that I have reviewed, this is probably the fucking worst. And that's saying something. I mean, like when I look back on movies like The Human Centipede, really, I think maybe I was a little too harsh on that. And mainly, I think the reason I was a little harsh on it was because it was being regarded by many I knew as as a part of the extreme genre of horror, when it was not, in my opinion. And it was kind of overhyped in that regard. But it was a good film at the end of the day. It was decent. You know what I mean? On its own as a horror film, it was whatever. But to me, that's why I kind of ranted in that. This isn't even good in that regard. And to me, the whole bit about this being controversial and this being crazy, and there's like a warning label on the fucking DVD case, which I forgot to display again. To me, that was intentional. To me, it seems like the creator was trying to throw out there how crazy and how disturbing this evil piece of shit of a character is, because he hates women and he's going to have sex with them and kill them. And it's not at all. To me, that was just a selling point. It was trying desperately to push that, and it's full of fucking shit. And yeah, no one's going to be happy here. I don't see, anyways. I mean, I'm sure there's people who somehow find a redeemable thing here, but I did not find that. And that's what kind of blew my mind, is when I thought about it, in comparing this to, like, for instance, Where the Dead Go to Die. That's a movie a lot of people fucking despise. And I couldn't say it was like a decent film, whatever. I had to give it a kind of low review. But I found redeemable qualities about that, because when I watch these, I don't always like set out to hate them or set out to find the bad in them. I try to find the good in some of these films and stuff. And occasionally I'll have like a rant type thing, but I went into this film open minded, even though the trailer and the vibes were giving me that it wasn't going to be that good. I went into it open minded. And the initial scene actually made me think, well, maybe this will be interesting. When there's like an initial scene where the guy is speaking in another language and kind of like, I don't know if he's like exactly taunting his victim or something, but there's like a moment there where I was like, maybe I was wrong. And then once it gets into the film, it was just, okay, I wasn't wrong. And I tried, I watched it, I really tried. I'm trying even now to think of what redeemable things. I mean, okay, it's in Las Vegas, kind of cool sights, I guess. One thing I guess I could say is some of the tones and vibes it gives are kind of a little eerie. There's like some soundtracks that are kind of, I mean, it's got its own slight kind of thing about it, but it just doesn't work. There's not much to me that is redeemable about this. And Where the Dead Go to Die, at least one of those segments had me where I was interested in seeing what happened. At least that film, even though it failed, it was one guy working on the whole fucking thing. At least in Where the Dead Go to Die, at least in that film, it was doing some kind of unique things with the creature effects and just the weird vibe it gave. This doesn't even have that. This doesn't even have like a segment that hooked me in or nothing. There was just nothing about it at all. And I feel like a lot of people that are looking at extreme horror or even just horror in general are going to be let the fuck down by this. One thing I guess I will say is Tony Todd is in this movie. That is the actor from Candyman and in Final Destination. And to me, that was really a highlight of this film. His appearance was kind of like the highlight of this film. I liked seeing him in this. His scene was pretty cool. I like, Final Destination. I love that series. I've loved it since I was a kid. And Candyman's pretty good too. But yeah, Tony Todd's appearance, to me, like I said, the vibe I get from this film is that the creator plastered this controversial thing to try to rise a selling point. Included Tony Todd in here to try to desperately, cash in on, other actors and stars, to do anything that it can to try to elevate this garbage of a film. So yeah, I think I've gone over everything I need to before spoilers. Yeah, it's absolutely terrible, folks. There's no line about it. Don't waste your time. I recommend, if you want to, just watch this fucking video and be spoiled, because who gives a shit? Film is a complete waste of time. One thing I will say is apparently it seems like the version I got was an edited version. I think because the runtime is an hour and 45 minutes long, but the version I watched I think was like an hour and 20 minutes or something. And I had thought about rewatching it, trying to find the unedited version, but I could seriously give a fuck less, because I don't believe that any of the trimming would have brought anything more so disturbing, more so compelling. I was done with this movie. This movie, yeah, fuck it. Just fuck it in general. So yeah, I apologize, I guess. Ranting and whatever. I'm gonna get into more ranting in a second. I struggled with a score for this, because I believe, I can't remember what I gave Where the Dead Go to Die, but I gave it like a 4.5, I think. And this is less than that. This is less than that. I didn't know. I'm like, where should I put this damn thing? Is it a 0? Because I mean, I didn't know where to go. I was looking at kind of reviews, and I think I seen the consensus was like 3 heading to 4, basically. I'm just gonna go with a fucking 3, because yeah, this movie was just, I found like nothing about it. There was just nothing about it that I could find to bring it up. So yeah, unfortunately, it did not change, the appearance, what I felt the appearance was going to be. I was kind of hoping it would. I don't set out to just hate on films. I always, even with, there's games I do Let's Plays of on this channel that people hate. And I find things that I like about them, and I'm like, really, this game ain't that bad to me. Or maybe this movie ain't that bad to me, like Where the Dead Go to Die. But this, it was too much. There was not anything here. So yeah, my score is a 3, folks. And yeah, for any of you who are done, done with this, peace out. For anyone who wants to hear these spoilers and maybe hear me further rant about how ridiculously garbage and shit this film is, stick around and stay tuned, because here we fucking go. All right. So yeah, I mentioned that apparently something's off with him. Just the mannerisms of this jackass. Yeah, the photographer, this jackass. The mannerisms, the way he's delivering his lines. None of it is, it's, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, it's just, it borderlines on like either cheesy, just dumb, and just fail. That's all it is. None of it's creepy. It's shit. And, the second thing I have, there's a scene, and I put here, was she even listening? What the fuck? Because there was a particular scene, and this is something I should get into. Like, okay, part of the plot of this movie is this photographer has met this woman, and for whatever reason, she's madly in love with the guy, which I didn't believe for a goddamn second. I mean, what the hell was there to find about this guy? He's not smooth. He's not charismatic. There's nothing at all about this guy, but somehow he's a fucking stud with the ladies. Some fucking how. Because this girl, from basically the beginning of this film, is completely hooked on this guy. Well, they're eating dinner. They're eating dinner, and that girl's little sister, Jade, is there. And there's this whole spiel. He's eating like bloody ass meat and stuff. He's eating steak, and it's like really bloody. And she asks him about that, and there's this whole conversation at the dinner table. And like I said, keep in mind the woman that's in love with him is right there. And this stuff, I can't remember particularly what he says, but what he says is just, it's complete shit. It's incredibly dumb, and to me would be considered offensive and stupid. And that's why I put, was she even listening? Because to me it's like, how in the fuck could this apparent stud of a guy utter the crap that he's uttering at this dinner table to a little fucking girl, and it not resonate with the woman right there? Like, it was like she didn't even listen to it. It was just like, and maybe that's supposed to kind of go to show you that when someone is being manipulated and swayed by like an individual who is charismatic and has hooked somebody in, how they'll kind of write off fucked up tendencies. I don't know, but it didn't work for me. It didn't work for that, because to me it was like, he was blatantly saying some really god awful stupid shit. And to me, common sense wise, it's like, was she listening to this jackass? Because that would immediately, to a normal person, it would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like ended the date, and she'd have been like getting her sister the fuck out of there because this dude is an idiot. But no, it just brushed over that. Like I said, it didn't really show like how the fuck she's in love with this loser. The other thing I put is the little girl is smarter. Because funny enough, the little girl Jade is fucking smarter than her sister. This full grown woman who's in love with this jackass, because he basically treats her like shit. For whatever reason, she's hooked into him. There's not there to me. There should have been no reason she's hooked into this jackass. But the little sister is trying to tell this woman, this full grown fucking woman, the little sister sees how fucking stupid he is and how fucking whack he is, and she's trying to convince the full-grown woman of this. Like, the little girl is like the smartest character in this entire fucking movie, and it's just like that full-grown woman couldn't fucking see it. It was really dumb. It was really horrible. I already got into the bad effects. It's terrible. It, to me, doesn't even really focus on it all that much. Yeah, Tony Todd. I put here, Tony Todd knows how stupid this guy is. That, to me, that scene was kind of funny, because yeah, like almost immediately when this jackass wanders into this like movie store and starts asking for this snuff film at the counter, like Tony Todd starts kind of like ripping him a new one and like telling him off and shit, because even he knows how stupid this fucking guy is. Like, basically, to me, anybody with any sort of common sense who would meet this fucking douchebag on the street would know how much of a fool this fuckhead is. Yeah, it's pretty horrible. But like I also said, Tony Todd's appearance to me was a highlight in this film. Um, and then another thing I put here is the little girl kicks his ass, and I was happy about that. Because yeah, basically it builds to a climax where the little girl ends up being in his home and discovering, his like little torture chamber of sorts and all this crap. And it's basically a fight, and that to me is another kind of laughable aspect. It's like, so this apparent malicious, evil, bad son of a bitch, who is shallow as fuck, by the way, somehow has managed to murder all these fucking women, and he can't kill a little fucking girl. She whoops his ass. Like, come on, damn it. Like, I wish, and it's obvious because it's just the writing why that happened, but it's like, god damn it, some of these women should have been able to kick this guy's ass easy. This guy was a fucking loser. The little girl whoops the shit out of him. It's fucking funny. Like, there's a part where he comes stumbling kind of after her. I think he has a knife or something. I don't know. He comes stumbling after her, and she's got this big like 2x4, and just smashes him in the fucking face. Like, he walks into it. To me, it was laughable. It was like he sees it and he's coming after her as she has it drawn. He basically walks into getting his face bashed. It's, yeah, this film, it had nothing redeemable, as I continuously say. It was, and it really wasn't funny. Like, it's not a film you would watch and laugh at either. At least to me, it wasn't. It was just terrible on all levels. Effects, characters, writing, the set pieces, the murders. It was just, it was a waste of time, a tremendous waste of time. And that's why I'm saying, don't pursue this movie. hopefully maybe you just watch this shit. But if you want a film that's like this, like I mentioned before, go check out American Psycho. There is a lot more to be gained from like American Psycho or just a typical horror film compared to this. I would rather watch a typical, just an average horror film. It doesn't matter. Like you could watch all kinds of stuff and it have something redeemable or something good about it than this fucking piece of shit. But yeah, I'm trying to think now. I'm going to try to think to see if there's any kind of scenes, any kind of moments I'd like to maybe touch on, but I really don't think so. I mean, I was just sitting there while this movie was going on. I was just like, ugh, it was a rough one, unfortunately. Because, yeah, as much as sometimes I enjoy trying to like humorously rant about things, and as people who've watched this channel know, I will rant. I usually do that for a humorous purpose or whatever. I kind of indulge in that for some laughs or something. This, yeah, oh fuck, I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore. So yeah, it was a 3. It was terrible. It was laughable, and it was hardly laughable, but it was fucking laughable. And so yeah, that's about I think all I've got to cover, folks. I hope you enjoyed this review. Hopefully you did not enjoy this movie, as in you didn't even watch this movie. Hopefully, do not waste your time. Don't inflict pain upon yourself. Don't even try. Don't support this damn movie. And I mean, I try to kind of give creators like Where the Dead Go to Die, I gave him props. And I'm not trying to just hack away on like the creators of this, but god damn it, it's very hard not to bash this film. For me, it is incredibly hard not to. Yeah, it's a letdown. So, all right, guys, that's about all the time I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you're enjoying some good horror, hopefully something way better than this. Check out American Psycho if you haven't. Pretty good fucking film. And yeah, that's about all I got to say. Peace out, folks. Agony333 signing out. Have yourselves a fucking grand one, everybody. Peace.